Dear students, members of the faculty, guests, and last but not least, IMT school graduates, welcome to the 2024 PhD graduation ceremony of the IMT School for Advanced Studies Lucca. For the welcome remarks, we invite to the stage the Vice President of the Fondazione Cassa di Risparmio di Lucca, Raffaele Domenici.
Good morning, but I prefer to speak in Italian. In questo giorno così importante, tanto per la scuola quanto per gli allievi che oggi conseguono il dottorato, credo sia importante svolgere alcune considerazioni. Quando le istituzioni lucchesi, e tra queste la Fondazione Cassa di Risparmio di Lucca, che oggi rappresento, unitamente al Ministero dell'Università e della Ricerca, istituirono la Scuola di Eccellenza, Istituzioni, Mercati e Tecnologia, si posero tre obiettivi principali. Il primo obiettivo era quello di assicurare alla scuola una forte proiezione internazionale in termini di reclutamento. A distanza di tempo di circa 20 anni osserviamo che dall'Italia alla Spagna, dalla Cina alla Turchia, dall'Irlanda all'India, dalla Serbia all'Iraq, dagli Stati Uniti al Canada al Brasile, voi rappresentate l'eccellenza di nazioni importanti per storia e per tradizione, rappresentative di ben 3 continenti. Il secondo obiettivo era sviluppare un'offerta didattica profondamente intrecciata con la ricerca, e così per annullare in nome di questo fine le separazioni tradizionali dell'organizzazione dei saperi accademici. Il dialogo tra scienze e saperi è spesso conseguente ad una lunga carriera, spesso anche riservata alla maturazione più adulta, più avanzata della conoscenza. Volevamo invece anticipare questa relazione alla fase della formazione dottorale. Abbiamo immaginato che esperti di beni culturali interagissero con saperi giuridici ed economici, che allievi di economia si confrontassero con le neuroscienze, che studenti di informatica lavorassero con ingegneri, che modelli matematici sviluppassero ottimizzazione dei processi produttivi. I vostri lavori di dottorato esemplificano al meglio quella ibridazione delle conoscenze da cui sempre nascono l'innovazione e le risposte alla crescente complessità dei quesiti del nostro mondo. Il terzo obiettivo era quello di garantire agli studenti il modello di un campus cittadino, intrecciato anche nelle sedi con l'identità storica e sociale della città. Ci auguravamo che l'offerta artistica e culturale di Lucca, da allora a oggi tra l'altro enormemente cresciuta, per quanto propria di una città di provincia, fosse l'espressione di un ambiente vivo e accogliente. Poco fa cominciavo questa riflessione ricordando l'importanza per la scuola e per voi neodottorati di questa cerimonia. Concludo esprimendo la piena soddisfazione per la coerenza con cui vedo questa vostra esperienza, nella vostra esperienza dottorale, la concretizzazione dei valori che ispirarono la fondazione della scuola. Mi auguro che ovunque vi condurrà il vostro diploma di dottorato, alcuni verso la carriera accademica, altri verso l'impegno dell'impresa, altri ancora nei ruoli delle grandi istituzioni pubbliche o in centri di ricerca privata. Mi auguro, dicevo, che nella vostra memoria possa fissarsi il ricordo di questi anni di crescita umana, formativa e professionale maturata a Lucca, e che Lucca resti nel vostro cuore per l'opportunità che vi ha dato e per l'ospitalità con cui vi accolgo. Best wish.
Thank you, Vice President Domenici. I will briefly sum up your speech in English. On this momentous day for the school and for its graduates, I believe it is important to make a few considerations. When the institutions of Lucca, and among them the Fondazione Cassa di Risparmio di Lucca, together with the Ministry of University and Research, established the IMT school, three main goals were set. The first was to ensure a strong international projection in terms of recruitment. I observed, some 20 years later, that you represent the excellence of many nations, relevant in history and tradition. The second was to develop an educational offering deeply intertwined with research and to eliminate the traditional divisions of academic knowledge. Your doctoral works greatly exemplify this hybridization of knowledge. The third was to offer students the model of a city campus intertwined with the historical and social identity of the city. We hoped that Lucca's artistic and cultural offerings would be a welcoming environment to live in. I conclude by expressing my full satisfaction to find in your doctoral experience the concretization of the values that inspired the founding of the school. I hope that wherever your doctoral degrees will lead you, the memory of these years of human, formative, and professional growth in Lucca will remain and that Lucca will stay in your hearts. We now invite to the podium the President of the Province of Lucca, Luca Menesini.
Dear authorities, professors, students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, I would like to thank Rector Rocco De Nicola for inviting me to this ceremony. It is an honor for me to attend. I have had the honor and pleasure to be invited for the inauguration of a new academic year, which is a very important event marking the beginning of a significant journey for the students. I have to say that seeing so many young students achieve the significant milestone of obtaining PhD today, it is even more gratifying, something we all should be proud of. So my greetings of my best wishes for a bright, rewarding, and fulfilling professional life go especially to these students who have attended an educational institution that since its founding in 2005 has seen its activities strengthen and expand, becoming increasingly international and rooted in the local area. This school boasts an excellent faculty that has, year after year, contributed to making it prestigious due to the high level of its educational offerings and the high competence of its professors. IMT represents a gem of our territory in the field of higher education. This is evidenced by the numerous recognitions received over the years from esteemed European consortia that evaluate European and Italian universities, as well as the fact that students come here from all over the world. IMT can count on the strong bond that unites the institutes with the city and at the same time its strong international vocation. It is also highlights the collaborative relationships and the synergy with other innovative and excellent post-university educational experiences such as the Scuola Sant'Anna and the CNR, just to name a couple. I extend a virtual warm embrace to all the graduates who have seen their commitment, perseverance, and determination to reach an ambitious goal rewarded, a goal that will surely lead to professional success in the workplace. In conclusion, I reiterate that as a president of the province of Lucca, I am proud to have a high-level educational institutions like IMT in our area and academic excellence that many envy us for. Finally, I extend a well-deserved congratulations to Professor Casini, who has been elected as the new rector of the IMT School for the 2024-2027 term. I am confident that Casini will assume his role as rector starting next November, will guide this educational institution as effectively as his predecessors have done so far. Thank you and good luck.
We now invite to the stage Simona Testaferrata, Councillor for the Education of the City of Lucca, to give her welcome remarks.
Intanto buongiorno a tutti e sono onorata di essere qui stamani con voi. È con grande piacere stamani che porto i saluti del nostro sindaco Mario Pardini e dell'amministrazione tutta, in una mattinata come questa, davvero molto molto speciale. Gli studenti che si sono specializzati alla scuola IMT oggi riceveranno il loro titolo di dottore e ancora complimenti. Sono un po' emozionata perché trovarmi di fronte a giovani ragazzi così volenterosi e pieni di energie mi fa veramente commozione e piacere. Voi studenti provenite da ogni parte d'Europa e del mondo e avete scelto Lucca, la scuola MT, per arricchire il vostro bagaglio di conoscenze e formativo. L'esperienza realizzata qui, sicuramente nella scuola, è un'interconnessione importante fra gli ambiti di specializzazione, diversi proprio, e mettendosi in interconnessione è stato un metodo che porterà sicuramente a voi neodottori a utilizzare in maniera anche sistematica e con competenze le collaborazioni trasversali che fra i diversi ambiti avete affrontato le varie questioni. Quindi è un risultato complesso e molto importante. E dall'altra parte, durante questi mesi e questi anni di specializzazione, avete vissuto nella nostra città a stretto contatto con la bellezza di Lucca, l'armonia dei suoi spazi pubblici, delle sue piazze, delle sue strade e a contatto con i principali istituti culturali e anche con un tessuto sociale ricco e produttivo. Quindi ringraziando la scuola IMT di Lucca, il rettore, il corpo docente, lo staff per il grande impegno scientifico e organizzativo svolto a servizio della crescita culturale della nostra città e del nostro paese nel suo complesso. Auguro a voi, nuovi dottori, di poter portare con la vostra esperienza, il vostro studio, la vostra formazione, le vostre nuove competenze e anche questo periodo nel cuore, questo periodo che avete vissuto a Lucca, nella nostra Lucca, come ricordo sempre vivo della nostra città e che lo possiate portare veramente esportandolo con le vostre competenze. Grazie.
Thank you, Councillor Testaferrata. I will briefly sum up your speech. I'm very happy to be here today to greet you on behalf of the Mayor of Lucca, Mario Pardini, and the entire municipality. Today is a very special day since the students who have specialized at the IMT school will receive their doctoral degrees. These students come from all over Europe and the world and have chosen Lucca and the IMT school to enrich their knowledge and education. The experience gained here in a school that has made multidisciplinarity its method will lead these new doctoral students to use the collaboration between different fields as a fundamental approach to address issues in an increasingly complex world. On the other hand, during the months and years spent in Lucca, they have lived in close contact with the beauty and harmony of its squares, streets, and monuments, getting to know our cultural institutions and our rich social and economic fabric. Therefore, I would like to thank the IMT school, its rector, faculty, and staff for the great scientific and organizational work they do for the cultural growth of our city and our country as a whole. I hope that the new graduates will cherish the time spent in Lucca as a memory that will always be alive in their hearts. We now invite to the podium the rector of the IMT school, Professor Rocco De Nicola, who will give his address.
Good morning, everybody. It's really nice to see this room full, and it's really always a bit emotional. I mean, well, it is emotional in my case for 3 reasons. One is 40 years that I was in your situation. I got my PhD in '84, so it's a really long time, and I know how you feel. Yes, and the second is that this is my last time I'm addressing you. And okay, so it is an emotion as well. And I really would like to reiterate the welcome to and the best wishes to the elected Rector Cassini. And I really would like to welcome him. I mean, and, Lorenzo will start the 1st of November, and I'm sure that he will do much better than I did. I mean, I put all what I could in this effort, but of course I could have done better. I mean, I will do, and he will certainly do it better. And then the third thing, I mean, is like, I mean, I've been seeing students with whom I've worked together in the last 3 or 4 years. It's real, I mean, I was, during the interview, I mean, I was asked, how do you feel? I mean, it's like our kids go away. I mean, some of them are a bit our kids. I mean, we have been shouting at them sometimes when they were not performing well. We have been encouraging them when they were not so sure that they will make it, and so on. Being supervisor is a little bit like that. I mean, you have to try to pull down them when they are over-enthusiastic, think that they are changing the world. Well, I mean, they've simply got a paper accepted. I mean, that's it. Or, I mean, when they are depressed that they cannot make it, I mean, then you would say, look, but I mean, if we change this thing and work a little bit more on this, then maybe we can make it. I mean, and so I mean, I consider, I mean, those, especially those from computer science, but a little bit like our son that now leave the nest and go toward the world. Okay, so finish of the emotional part. Let's go back to crude numbers now. I mean, I've sort of short presentation because I think it would be more important that students that have gone away and they can tell more about their experience here than mine. I said a bit. Okay, so if we progress with the next slide, I can control the slide. Yes, this is. In the end, I will learn how to do it. I mean, maybe. Okay, so this is the short history of the school, which I think, I mean, you may know already. I mean, so here there is we started in 2005, and now we are, and this is well, how we kind of have started slowly. At the beginning, we were in San Micheletto, a very small, well, we were guests of the Fondazione Cassa di Risparmio, in fact. We have a couple of rooms and 4 classrooms. That was it. I mean, and then we moved to San Ponziano, and and then in the end, I mean, this San Francesco complex was restored, and then we really started, I mean, as a big reality in Lucca. And there have been, in the meantime, 4 Rector. I mean, before it was called Rector, then since I want to boost my ego, I decided it was better to call the Rector. I mean, so this was a change of the statute of the school. No, well, the reason I can tell you now, because some people were considering us as not as a school for advanced studies, but just as a high school. And so if you have a director, then they think that you are a high school. If you are a rector, then they think that you are a school for advanced studies. That was the reason I kind of pushed to change the thing. This said, okay. Yes. overview. I mean, this all of you know. This is just for your parents. I mean, to tell you what we are doing. I mean, you have already heard. I mean, there is this multidisciplinarity and people coming from all over the world and so on and so forth. I mean, even politicians have learned this by now. So the numbers. Okay. So currently we have 271 students. Essentially evenly split between men and women. We have 34% of foreign students. And this last year we got, 1,200 applications, and out of this we selected 81 students. We have a significant growth, as we will see, of students admitted. Usually we will take around 40 or 50, but then we had a national PhD program which will bring 30 students all at once. I mean, and so that's the reason. But not all of them, in fact, are staying here. Some 4 or 5 of them stay here. The other ones spend some time here, and the rest they stay in the university or in the company that funds their scholarships. These are again the numbers. So you can see, this national PhD program, which now has 55 students, and this is why there is these big numbers. I mean, but the significant part, apart for the national PhD, is that we have been growing. I mean, this is really important. I mean, we have been growing as faculty and as students, and I think we need to grow. Of course, we don't need to grow always. I mean, because otherwise we could explode. But I think there is a size, I mean, a reasonable size, like 50, 60 professors and maybe 100 students or something like that. I mean, we don't need 100 students per year. I mean, not good. This is the kind of division about the provenance of our foreign students, international students, not foreign. I mean, before there was written foreign students, I changed it in international students because they are not foreigners. I mean, they are at home here with us. This is what, up to now, we have 412 graduates, and this is what they are doing. I mean, 50% are in university and research centers, 20% in institution, some work in companies, and a few of them, I hope there will be more, especially in Italy. This is something which is missing in Italy, the private enterprises. I mean, I think, and in this period of innovations, I think it is important that, I mean, consider doing this. I mean, well, it's more like, I mean, a couple of those I know, computer science students, in fact, they've set up a company, but in California, unfortunately, I mean. So we have also to worry about why this happens, but... And we are 31 professors, almost 100 research and research collaboratori. I include RTDA, RTDB, assegnisti di ricerca, borsisti, and so on. We have a number of visiting professors that kind of expose the students to different points of view. The administrative staff is 53. We are structured in 8 research units, 4 research labs, and we have 195 beds. These are the PhD program. Because, I mean, of course, many of you know already, but since there have been changes recently, I prefer to put this slide. I will not spend much time on it, but so you see, we have 4 core PhD programs. One in neuroscience, one in cultural heritage, one in economics, and one in, I would say, computer science and system engineering. We call it system science. And some of them are structured in tracks. But more recently, we set up this program in management of digital transformation, which is really across all the track, and there is this national program in cybersecurity. We are also doing other kind of things. We are, you see, with this national PhD program are that there are 40 of them, far too many from my point of view, but there are 40 at the moment. So one is administered by us, other 39 are administered by other university. And for some of them, those that are more kind of connected to our main interest, neuroscience, economics, and blah, blah, we decide to give some grants to them, okay? And so we have one in artificial intelligence, one in blockchain and distributed ledger, heritage science, and the neuroscience. And we have started, the last year, we started also some collaborating to some master, so-called laurea magistrale with different universities. We had one since a long time with on bionics engineering with Pisa, the University of Pisa and Sant'Anna, but we are strengthening the relationship in that respect now. And we have two new, one on software science and technology with the University of Florence, and one with the University of Padova on forensic psychology and clinic criminology. And I know that there are also, we are still planning other kind of degree like that. Of course, again, these are very connected to our main interests. It's not that now we go and open, I don't know, a laurea magistrale in agriculture. I mean, we'll not do that. But having something connected to our main interest is important as well. We are doing also master course, especially executive master. So we have one with Firenze. This is really a one-year course on data science. But we have this. The second one is very, very nice because it's something we have done with the Lucca territory, but then we have exported it. This master is to teach professors who aim to be to lead schools, no? How to gently lead. In fact, leadership leggera, no? And it's been very successful. At the beginning, they were mainly from this area, but this year we got application from all over Italy, in fact. And this other one is also, this master executive in decision intelligence is interesting because it has been designed with a company which is based in Lucca. But again, I mean, they send some of their employee to learn about how to take intelligent decisions. But again, it is opened to people from also other companies, from this area. And although the cost of the course was quite high, I mean, I was really impressed by the number of, was I close the number, but the number of people that had applied, in fact, not all of them could be admitted. And okay, so again, I mean, this I've been already saying some other thing. I mean, since we were evaluated well by the ANVUR, the National Agency for Research Evaluation, we got the chance to apply for additional funds, and we got this Dipartimento di Eccellenza. As I said, I mean, I don't like mentioning, I say always that other people have to tell that you are excellent. For my 3 years, I'd forbidden the use of the word excellence, I mean, inside. But since this time, this is called Dipartimento di Eccellenza, granted from other, I feel, I mean, I would say, enabled to say it. Well, I'm just going to finish. We are this. At the moment, these are where we are staying. So this is San Francesco, the residence of Brunello Paoli, which was inaugurated last year. And I mean, people have been impressed. I mean, 2 or 3 days ago, there was a bishop visiting the school, and he was really impressed by the quality of the structure of the furniture and everything in Brunello Paoli. And for this, we have to thank again Fondazione Cassa di Risparmio di Lucca that they were supposed to put half of the money because the other half was supposed to be put by the Ministry of University and Research. By the end, the president is an accountant, and he told me that indeed they put more. I mean, so the cost is 12 millions, and the ministry put 5, and they put 7. So because they didn't want to lower the quality in some sense, because the prices recently have increased, and so that was. So that's San Ponziano, that's the library, and I mean, after Donno, sorry. And soon, hopefully, we will have also a new site, which is the Palazzo Boccella, which is in front of here. I see hopefully, because I mean we kind of I shook hand with the owner like 2 years ago, and due to a lot of bureaucratical kind of thing and problems and so on, I mean we are still not started the reorganization work, which is needed. Not needed much, but I was hoping that will finish by October, but probably not. Probably the first one to use it will be Lorenzo, not myself. And that's it. Thank you very much.
We now invite to the stage some of the graduates who are here today to receive their diplomas, who will deliver a speech about their experience at the IMT school. First, Alberto Hidalgo Escudero from the program in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. So what can I say? I mean, these past 4 years in Lucca has been truly amazing. I think that everyone here in this room can agree that our first impression upon arrival for interviews were shocking. Lucca is, without doubt, one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen, and I truly say it. And the San Francesco campus is a dream come true for any students. However, the most special thing about this place is not just its facilities or its stunning city, but its people. I want to extend my thanks not to only the professors and students, but also to other people that work at the IMT, like Patrizia, Silvia, Laura, Daniela, and so many others who make life for both professors and students easier and are always ready to help. So I think that it's important to always remember here that there are not only professors and students, but also other workers that also help us to make the life easier. However, we can confidently say that the IMT will leave a lasting mark in our lives, building long-term friendships and even perhaps romances, like Yara. So there is a good chance, this is for potential students, that you will find someone like you here. And this is the main message that I want to give in my speech, that Lucca is a home for everyone. We often joke that our 4 tracks are like the 4 houses in the Harry Potter world. So for those unfamiliar, in Harry Potter, where there are new students that come to Hogwarts, new students are sorted in houses based on their personalities. So here at the IMT, something similar happens. System science students are like Hufflepuff. So they are honest, friendly, and trustworthy. Our beloved but slightly eccentric students from neuroscience will be Ravenclaw. They are the most peculiar one, but I will say the most complex and the most funny. Also, we have Gryffindor, or Gryffindoro, as Italian speaker says, that are the courageous and the most complex. So we usually joke about them that they are the radical chic of our school. And finally, we are economics, the one that I represented, that are Slytherin. So we are the ambitious, the most competitive. So our motto is publish or perish. So da Jemba. So as you can see, no matter your personality, at the IMT, you always find your people. Of course, despite these amazing people, there have been also challenging moments too. Like going to Bar Elisa on Mondays, only to find out that it's closed, trying to remember the Wi-Fi password after it expires, and then reluctantly writing to Leonardo Messina for a new one, or eating rice and tomato sauce because I forgot to sign up for the canteen. So I want to thank Stefano Menchetti because it was the main guilty of this measure. Well, they say that in life, at the end, we regret things that we didn't do more than the things that we did. And I am proud to say that I won't regret having pursued my PhD here at the IMT. Gracias.
The next speech will be from Natalie Francis Massong from the Program in Analysis and Management of Cultural Heritage.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to start by saying congratulations to all of our fellow graduates. I'd also like to echo what Alberto said in saying we're very grateful for all the professors, as well as the staff at the library, the PhD office, for all of their support in this time. So I came to IMT from Canada in 2018. I was actually familiar with Lucca in Italy. Even so, living in Italy became a new adventure for me. And as an historian of Renaissance art and architecture, it was a very welcome adventure. So I'm here speaking to you as a representative of the Cultural Heritage track and of course the 34th cycle. The program for Cultural Heritage at IMT is exceptional out of programs in Europe. And as IMT students, we have had remarkable opportunities to meet with museum directors, top scholars, and take behind-the-scenes look at Italy's extraordinary cultural heritage sites. I have immense gratitude for this experience. In my own research, I have looked at how particular architectural spaces have the agency to bring people together, forming new, often unexpected social exchanges. For me, IMT is such an institution. It is not only a place where people from all over the world come to study and to live. IMT is a space of community, collaboration, and discovery. So there are moments in life when synchronicity happens. Often these are serendipitous moments. And for me, I had this kind of confirmation when I first arrived at IMT. One of the first people I met was Zorica. And to share with you why this is significant to me, I must go back to 1944, when a girl of 14 was forced to leave a little village outside Novi Sad, Yugoslavia. She was put on a barge down the Danube to escape the Serbian army that followed close behind her. This girl, my grandmother, became a refugee in Canada. So for me, Novi Sad was this mythical place, this place of bedtime stories. And so here, back to 2018, I arrived to IMT, and one of the first people who I met was Zorica, and she warmly welcomed me. For me, and she's from exactly the same place, this is the point. So for me, this was magic. For me, it's magic when two people from opposing sides of history can meet in such a place, meet and become very close friends. This story is special to me, but perhaps it's not unique, in the sense that it represents IMT. If I can take a note from Professor Amos Bertolacci, who explored with us the concept of cultural bridges between the East and the West, IMT is a space of bridges between cultures, a space that can transcend differences through discovering commonality. It does not matter where you come from, when there is an openness to deeply and truly learn about each other, all that is left is empathy. And if you're lucky, a friend for life. So with community at the heart of everything we do at IMT, it is no wonder that this leads to very meaningful friendships and a enriching experience for students. So I want to share with you also some lessons I learned from living in Italy that can be explained through the art of Italian coffee. First, taking coffee with colleagues is just as important, if not more important, than what happens in the classroom. Getting to know people, whether they are in your same position or 10 levels higher than you, it doesn't matter. People are people and everyone needs a coffee break. Second, cues are only obstacles of the mind. They do not exist, so stop trying to line up for your coffee, hoping the barista will notice you. elbows out, and be assertive. So I use these two lessons when searching for work. I found my current job by being bold enough to contact the head of the school of the university I wanted to work for. All I did was tell her a bit about myself, asked her for coffee to discuss potential opportunities. She accepted, and over coffee, she offered me a part-time job. This last week has turned into a permanent full-time job. The other thing we can learn here, know who your idols are. Is it Ili or Lavazza or Matteo? Finding an authentic mentor is also key. Is the Ili container secretly holding Lavazza? Sometimes you can have too much coffee. It's okay, it's okay. Sometimes all you can do is just hang in there. Everything happens in waves. What goes up must come down. Also, it's not healthy to drink coffee on the go. Slow down, take a seat, enjoy the time with friends. It is in these moments that true connection happens. So thank you.
We now invite to the podium Surya Soman from the program in Computer Science and Systems Engineering.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to thank Professor Alberto Bemborad as the track director of Computer Science and System Engineering for giving me this opportunity to speak. And congratulations to all the graduates who are present here as well as following online. Based, I hope you're following online. Thanks to all the family members, friends, professors, and guests who took their time to come here to join our celebration. When I was in India, I perceived myself as a German shepherd, focused and goal-oriented. The only thing I ever did was studying and working. This was also the expectation and the norm where I'm from. After joining IMT and moved to Italy, I felt less constrained. I could be who I wanted to be. All this perception I had back in India was gone. And I realized that actually, I am a golden retriever on the loose. Between enjoying the La Dolce Vita and having a cultural shock, the cultural shock took over. 6 months into the PhD, I was thinking I would quit. It was the people in IMT who got me through the spirit. I'm not sure I would have survived without them. They were very patient enough to understand the differences we had and included me in every way possible while I was struggling to adapt here. In the past, when each research group had a specific study rooms and was slowly transitioning into a common one, my friend Emiliano Marchese invited me to change the study room from disco to economics, and I agreed. After I shifted and gave up my old desk in disco, as a joke, I think, I was asked by the other friends in the study room to give an exam so that they can let me continue to stay there. It was the first presentation I did on my research topic, and I wasn't even confident with the results. However, this joke turned out to be impactful. Seeing the appreciation and the feedback they gave me more confidence. And I felt like they were looking out for me, my IMT family. As non-Europeans, especially from developing country or less privileged countries, Europe offers many opportunities and freedom. However, the bureaucracy is impossible to escape. I have spent more time in San Ponciano office looking for Barbara, recently also Michela, than I probably been in my own advisor's office. I cannot thank them enough for the support and the kindness they showed, even when it was not within their job scope. This says that one of the key to attract and keep more international students is to have an administrative office with empathetic people. I take this opportunity to thank each one of them for their support on behalf of all the international students. Now, I would like to thank my friend, my personal translator, Maria Rosaria, after dealing with the bureaucracy for me for several years, who is now qualified to be an immigration consultant. I would also like to thank Sam, who took the initiative to form an international student union, which became a platform to help each other and to share the knowledge we have acquired throughout these years. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my advisor, Professor Alberto Bember and Mario Sanon, for believing in me even when it wasn't easy. I would also like to thank all my friends here for continuing to make the life in Lucca memorable. Thank you.
We now invite to the stage Chiara Battaglini from the program in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences.
Good morning, everyone. So first of all, let me thank my professors for thinking about me to give this speech for the Cognitive, Computational and Social Neuroscience track. The fact that I am the one giving this speech is meaningful. First of all, for myself, of course, and for my cycle, because it means that we made it. Congrats. Despite all the obstacles coming both from within, at least for myself, and, life. But it is also meaningful because I am a linguist, not exactly the prototypical neuroscientist. And this is a clear sign of how interdisciplinary IMT is. I can't find, okay, sorry. So, I still remember how scared I was when I got here. With all the things that were new to me, it was overwhelming. I found strength and support in my course mates. We were such a good class, a mixture of cultures, personalities, and skills. It was a pleasure to share this adventure with all of them. This is another peculiarity of IMT that maybe we take too much for granted. Being an international school offers the opportunity to encounter different cultures. It is amazing how inside these four walls, all the differences are overcome and a small universe is built. We share workspaces, but above all, we share our lives. And we have a lot of fun too. Our speeches should last 5 minutes, but this is absolutely not enough to talk about how extraordinary studying in IMT is. Here, I met some of the most important people of my life. But it was not all fun and parties, even though there were many of them. And here I'm just showing you a small sample of these parties. There were many more, but as you can see, we had a lot of fun. But we also struggled a lot. I would like to cite a metaphor. After all, metaphors are the current topic of my research, that one of my friends and colleagues used to describe our work. So doing research is like cultivating a garden. It takes time to see the results of your work, and those results are there also thanks to rainy days. So my suggestion for the current students is not to fear the rain, but to search for a buddy that can carry your umbrella with you. I would like now to address my fellow doctors here today. So this diploma is the celebration of a great journey where we sharpen our abilities, faced many challenges, and went beyond our limits. You should all be proud of yourselves. And, they often talk about excellence, and this is flattering, of course, but my wish is that all of our potentials can be used to make good in society. let's not forget to keep an eye on the world behind our personal computer. Let's not use what we learned here just to write papers, but also to have an impact on society, to question the status quo and have the courage to change things. On this note, I'm very glad that there are 3 women giving speeches today. The 3 of us are a representation of women in academia, but you know, while more and more women are pursuing academic careers, there are very few women in position of leadership. I know that some of you may think this is an outdated topic. However, while we have made some progress to overcome gender inequality, believe me, we still have much to do. So let's not let our guard down. Lastly, I thought that today would have meant closing a chapter. But last week, I was at the beach after the wedding of a friend and colleague of IMT, meeting again with friends of IMT from all over the world. And while we were there drinking our spritz and sharing fears, life advice, and offering each other support, I realized that IMT is not solely an important chapter for your career, it is a lifelong book. Thank you.
On behalf of the IMT School Student and Alumni Association, we now invite to the podium the Vice President, Ahmed Shams.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be back to IMT. I studied here between 2010 and 2013, so it's some time ago now. And it's a pleasure also to see how IMT expanded over the time, so things has really developed. So it gives us all the pleasure to see you all here today. I'm here talking on behalf of the Alumni Association, and Student Alumni Association, and the Executive Committee, basically. So this is a new term. We have a new Executive Committee taking over from the previous one. And here we'll be focusing on 3 different things. One is about basically the background of the Alumni Association. The second one will be about the planned activities and key messaging. And last but not least, our reunion and mentoring activities today. I have some slides for you. So first, a quick background. We won't expand much on this one. So it was established in 2016. We didn't have this before when I started here in 2010. And then in 2023, it became a kind of independent association. So it has its own legal status. And out of the number 400 plus graduates, which you heard about today from our rector, we have almost 300 members. So for sure, we're willing to engage everyone. So we were planning to expand actually this kind of membership. This is a new executive committee of IMT, of the association. And as you can see here, we're coming from very different backgrounds, from very different places, and all the PhD tracks are represented here. This is just some activities of the which were accomplished by the previous committee, like mentoring activities, for example, keynote sessions, and you will find also networking activities, and we will expand a bit more on this one. This is just a list of key messaging and planned activities. For sure, we'll not go through all of this. But actually, this aggregates all towards 2 key areas of activities. One is the outreach, and the other is the mentoring one. And we'll talk a bit about these 2. So when it comes to the outreach, here specifically we're talking about one of key activities which we believe will define also the success of this term of the Executive Committee of the Association, which is the database. There have been efforts done by the Director's Office and Alumni and Careers here at IMT in order to have a full list of the graduates. And this list we're planning to expand into a database which is searchable, a database which has a lot of details about who are the graduates of IMT. Typically here at IMT, as you all know, and I can relate to a lot of stories which you heard just before me, you know who is in IMT basically. So typically you will find that the cycles overlap. You see the students who studied before you, 1 year before you, 1 year after you, and this is how the cycles here overlap on campus. But you don't know much about basically who studied you years before or years after. And this is very important for us because we would like that all the graduates here in this room today and the graduates before and the future ones for sure, they see that actually the graduation is the start of a new stage with IMT, not the end story, basically. So it's a kind of a continuing story and a continuing relation. It does not end here, really. And this database will allow us, basically, that you can really access and know who is who at IMT. You can also think it as a kind of like an expert database. Expert database in the sense like organizations, for example, they will have expert database which are searchable, and you find all this kind of related information about the graduates of IMT. Information, for example, like their organizational background, job function, job position, for example. Also, bibliographic backgrounds, so you will know, for example, their research interests, their business interests, because not all of us will end up in academia. Many will go to companies, for example, entrepreneurs, as the rector was mentioning. So it's very important to know who is who. And this database actually lays the foundation for the next activity, core activity for us as association, which is the mentoring activities. As we all know, IMT is not structured around departments. It's mainly structured about inter and cross-disciplinary PhD tracks, which is actually really defines the identity of IMT to a great extent. And that's why the mentoring activities should reflect also this kind of structure. On one hand, we would like to have mentoring, the first level, like one-to-one mentoring. One-to-one mentoring in the sense like it will be mentoring activities between the students and alumni, who can advise basically not just on career, but also how to develop the research during the PhD development and so on. So this is something very important to have this one-to-one, and what will enable this one-to-one activities will be the database actually. Because without knowing who is who or who is the most relevant for you to mentor, this is very important to have the database, that's why. So we will end up in a way also that we have another level of mentoring, which is the working groups. Working groups are key to this as well. We would survey basically through this kind of database the research interests of the students and the research interest also of the graduates, and we'll try to identify the key basically activities which we think that it will be benefit of all, whether the alumni or the students. And through these kind of working groups, we'll have track-focused working groups, like basically focused on the PhD tracks, which are already existing. And on the other hand, we will have working groups which are cross and interdisciplinary, which brings members from different working groups together, whether they're working online or through kind of face-to-face events every now and then, if we can plan this. And we end up in a way that we can really foster this kind of relation. And last but not least, with regards to this afternoon, so we'll have this afternoon the mentoring and the union activity of the association. And we would like to welcome you all there for sure. So we'll have the keynote speech also this afternoon, plus the track-based mentoring. And again, what we would like to stress here is that this is a kind of a continuing story. It does not really end up here. And to conclude, we look very much forward to meeting you today and in the future at the association. And for all the graduates here, congratulations again and all the best. Thank you.
For a musical interlude, we now invite to the stage Fabrizio Delle Vedove and Matteo Zanon, students of the trumpet program of the Luigi Boccherini Conservatory of Music, who will perform Eugene Bozza's Dialogue pour des trompettes. Thank you very much for the students of the trumpet program of the Luigi Boccherini Conservatory of Music for attending our ceremony. The ceremony proceeds with the awarding of PhD diplomas. We invite back to the stage the Rector, Professor De Nicola, as well as all our graduates who will receive their diplomas. Zainab Al-Waizi, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Chiara Battaglini, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Chiara Bellucci, PhD in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics. Sara Belluccini, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Martina Berto, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Jacopo Bonari, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Nicolina Lidia Bruno, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Sean Anthony Byrne, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Maria Francesca Cataldo, PhD in Analysis and Management of Cultural Heritage. Francesco Del Prato, PhD in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics. Marzio Di Vece, PhD in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics. Valentina Elce, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Giulio Garbi, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Alberto Hidalgo Escudero, PhD in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics. Arturo Mariano Iannace, PhD in Analysis and Management of Cultural Heritage. Margherita Lalli, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Luigi Longo, PhD in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics. Natalie Francis Masson, PhD in Analysis and Management of Cultural Heritage. Alessandro Pigoni, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Veronica Pizziol, PhD in Economics, Networks and Business Analytics. Erika Sampaolo, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Zorica Savanovic, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Francesca Simonelli, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Surya Soman, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Giuseppe Francesco Squillace, PhD in Computer Science and Systems Engineering. Dila Suai, PhD in Cognitive, Computational and Social Neurosciences. Thank you very much for attending the 2024 graduation ceremony. We now invite all the guests to the cocktail that will take place in the Sala Canova, and we kindly ask all the graduates to gather outside to take the group picture. Thank you.